One of the co-chairs of the 1963 March on Washington is here, and we all remember his speech, and we all remember the vivid pictures and images of him on the Edmund Pettus Bridge taking the first blows from Al Lingo's state police on Bloody Sunday. We welcome now to bring the charge on behalf of the 1963 co-chairs, the member of Congress from Georgia, the Honorable John Lewis. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward.
Thank you very much. We gather on the 40th anniversary of one of our nation's most historic events, the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. I was here 40 years ago, 23 years old, yes, sir. A few pounds lighter with oil in my hair. Many of you were not even born back in 1963. Many of you were not even a dream. Let me tell you, we live in a different world. If you don't believe me, come and walk in my shoes. 40 years ago, in the American South, segregation was alive and well. Blacks could not attend the same schools as whites. We could not eat at the same restaurants. You could still see the signs that divided our nation. White men, colored men, white women, colored women, white waiting, colored waiting. Yeah. All of the young people here must understand, in the spring and summer of 1963, people were beaten, jailed, and even killed while participating in nonviolent protests. Millions of Americans could not register to vote because of the color of their skin. In Birmingham, Alabama, the Commissioner of Police, Eugene Bull Connor, used dogs and fire hoses on peaceful protesters. In Mississippi, the NAACP leader, Medgar Evers, was assassinated. We had to say to the president back in 1963 and the members of Congress that America must change. We had to do something to dramatize the sense of urgency. You must understand, and all of you who say you're part of another generation, the March on Washington just didn't happen. We didn't wake up one day and say we were going to march, that we're going to come to Washington. We didn't decide that one day we were going to hop on some buses and trains and come to Washington. We organized. We planned. We did the hard, dirty, nitty-gritty work that were people standing in an unmovable line, going door to door. We traveled the length and breadth of America, telling the story of the movement and mobilizing supporters. We have meetings at the Apollo Theater in New York, at churches, schools, labor and vicinity halls around the country. We didn't have a fax machine. We didn't have a website or a cellular telephone. We didn't even have a computer, but we stood on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We used our feet and we put our bodies on the line. We just got in the way. And you must get in the way. Too many of us, not just young people, but too many of us are too complacent. We're too satisfied. We need to make a little noise. We need to agitate. We need to push and pull. I tell you, and in spite of all of the progress that we have made, we still have a great distance to go. The story of the movement, just see what happened. People all over the world start singing the theme song of the civil rights movement, We Shall Overcome. In Budapest, in Berlin, in Prague, in Manila, and in Johannesburg, South Africa, people were inspired to sing We Shall Overcome and get in the streets. And because of our action, because of the March on Washington 40 years ago, we did not just change our nation, we changed the world. So I say to you young people, and to those of us not so young, you have the technology, you have the resources, you have the talent to do much more. Use your talent, use your time. We must recapture the spirit that we had 40 years ago. As a nation and as a people, we must make this spirit part of our thoughts, our action, and in our lives. If we do this, we can make Dr. Martin Luther King's dream come true. We can build what we call the beloved community, a truly interracial democracy, a community at peace with itself. All of us, black and white, Hispanic, Asian Americans, and Arabs and Native Americans, gays and straights, Protestant, Catholic, Jews, and Muslims, must pull together for the common good. This is our mission. This is our calling. This is our mandate. And this is our moral obligation. And I close by saying, we must reach out and build a beloved community. And when we build a beloved community, we become one nation, one people, one house, one family. We will come to the end of a march that our nation started some 40 years ago. So I say to you today, don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give out. As Dr. King would say, don't get lost in a sea of despair. Keep the faith. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep pushing. Keep pulling. And we shall overcome.
John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, one of the organizers of the 1963 March. Give him a round of applause.